Oh, we're just checking it out as we first got into this room. It's pretty wild. Looking for the light switch. Getting there. Seems like there should be one more light, no? Here's the shower right here. Look at these ceilings. Really unique. And look at the swan towel they put on. And then this sink is over here. Look at this. Wow. Well, there you go. That's what the Little League World Series used to look like. I guess it looks pretty much the same. Got a full-size refrigerator. Cool room. And a baseball. This is the lobby on the third floor. They have all these great historical pictures here. They have a bunch of rooms here. Really interesting. Really well done. I gotta take pictures of all these. Really learn a lot about the history of Williamsport. Okay, let's just walk down the stairs in the old city hall. From what I read, like, the rooms on this floor are more conventional, but still, you gotta have high ceilings. Look at this cool picture from the old days. This is how you adaptively reuse a building. The Rialto Theater, we saw that last night. I wonder which room is in the former mayor's office. So when we first came in last night, all the lights come on here. There they go. Look at all these Civil War soldiers lined up. This is what you see when you first come in. Really hits you. What a hotel. Gonna take a walk on the outside and a little walk around downtown Williamsport. And I'll pan back to show you the hotel. Look at this. City Hall building. I think that place, the newsroom, was open last night. We got here at night. Erected 1893. Romanesque. They're very proud of being on the winning side of the Civil War. So it's like 8 in the morning on a Sunday, so it's really quiet. Just take a long look with that Civil War bugler on the top of that statue. Fantastic. I don't know where all those students are walking. And I don't even know what street I'm on. I just know we're in downtown Williamsport. So I'll get my bearings here. This part looks really nice. So this is a classical looking building, probably an old bank. So we're at West 4th. I don't see the street we're on, but I'll get that. So West 4th is like the main commercial street, I think, of Williamsport. Somebody's dragging along behind me. Sounds like they got a flat tire. This is now the Lycoming County and Williamsport Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Information Center. Here's the culprit. So after passing by a few more modern buildings, take a look at some of the historic architecture here on West 4th Street. You can walk around into the middle of the street because there's no traffic. It's a nice clothes store, a clothier. So I don't think this place is open anymore, the Crooked Goose. I bet you it was a nice place. And this is a large older building here. The Genetti. Is it a former hotel that is now apartments? It's probably the case, with some restaurants on the first floor. Here's a big live theater, UPMC. And look at this plaza of murals, wow. Look at this. It goes all the way around. Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, Pope John Paul. Who else? You tell me. Boy, this is really impressive. It's like Bonnie Raitt up in the window. I think there's some local people here with the nationally and internationally famous people. Until we meet again. That's probably one of the students from Montoursville. They were on a plane that was exploded by terrorists. So they lost a lot of students from Montoursville. It's near here. It's pretty sad. But what a mural. Well, you never know what you find when you just go out walking around, wandering around. So cool. Looking for familiar names on the marquee of who's coming and everything. And I'll show you one guy who's coming here to Williamsport. Brian Regan. He is really funny. Great comedian. So I recommend you go see him. Alright, now so here's the current City Hall of the Bullfrog Brewery right next door. And I don't know when they moved from the old City Hall that's now the hotel to this building, which is the former post office, but they seem so similar. I wonder what the reason was for the move. Maybe the post office was moving out and they thought you better make use of the building or something might happen to it. I don't know. But this city has a great old City Hall and new City Hall, if you want to call it. I think this building actually was built in the late 1880s, so it's actually a little older than the old City Hall. Fantastic. I'm looking for a year on it. I don't see one, but I think I read that. It's also in that Romanesque style. Look at that balustrade over the entrance. And then this is more of the surrounding area. And there's an arena over here, the Liberty Arena. I wonder who plays there or what goes on in there. And then a regular movie theater here. And then down here, down 4th Street, is Millionaire's Row, which I showed in a previous video. I was further down. Let's walk down the street a little bit here to see if we can catch some of the tip of it from the downtown end. Before we do, I'm just looking to see what else is right here. It's so much to look at. Look at this building here. The Williamsport Sun Gazette. What a building. So we were here once before, just for a couple of hours, because I wanted to see Millionaire's Row, but we just whizzed through the downtown, but I'm glad to take a longer look at it. There's a beautiful old stone church. I feel like we're in Scotland. Let's see, what church is this? First Baptist Church. Established 1854. So it was the First Baptist Church between 1854 and 1913. Need more information. Beautiful. And now this is the start of Millionaire's Row, I think. Look at these houses right here. It's got an entry gate. We're at the corner of Elmira and West 4th, and there's the City Hall straight down. More fantastic houses, one after the other. Wow. The Peter Herdick house. This is a big name in Williamsport. He developed a lot, built the Herdick Hotel. This is where he lived. Owner, lumber mills, and President Susquehanna. Boom. A key player in making the city the lumber capital of the world. He invented the Herdick, a rear entry carriage, and erected many buildings here on Millionaire's Row. His 1854 home is number 407. Well, is this 407? I think it is. Wow. But every house is just a gem here. And then here's the Peter Herdick Inn. With stained glass. Getting a little leafy here, so you can't see the buildings as well, but let me walk through this tree canopy. So we can see some more houses. Wowie, wow, wow. And when I did the walk before, I got this far, so I walked further down where we're headed, and then I turned around. But now I'm glad to do the last residential block. That's great. Here at the end of Millionaire's Row, closest to the downtown. Just look at that tower room. I think that's part of the Peter Herdick Inn. Fantastic. So let's just walk by this house on the corner of Elmira and West 4th and walk down Elmira. I think it's to West 3rd down here. So it's just kind of a modern warehouse type building here. Don't know what used to be here, but there's some still significant houses on this street. Look at this big red brick house here. And older buildings down at the end of the street. So there's 3 big houses here at the end of Elmira. And the one on the corner looks like they built a commercial addition to it. An apartment building's called the Allegheny. Some other older townhouse type residences. See, like college age people running around. I don't know if there's a race today or everybody's just out for a morning jog. Well, this is a building that's either been fixed up or is being fixed up, but I like the lighting in there. Pretty cool. There's some really, blah stuff here too, unfortunately. But it comes with the territory. I wonder what that is over there. It looks foreboding. No name. Let's see. It's the Lycoming County Prison. No wonder it looks so foreboding. And why they don't want to make the sign real visible. So I had to walk across the street to see. Alright, let's walk back into the historical part of town. My wife wanted to go to the Wegmans here, and it's right next to the county prison. Maybe she'll not want to go there. We'll see. So yeah, we are on West 3rd Street. There's a U.S. courthouse and federal office building. Back to the historic highlights here on West 3rd Street. Look at these beautiful buildings here. And here's a place that's now called the Cell Block, so it must be the old prison. Looking back here, the Pennsylvania Grit. There used to be, and it still says Grit on the modern marquee, but there used to be like a newspaper called that. Maybe it still exists. It was kind of a predecessor to USA Today, which also I don't think exists anymore. But this prison looks almost medieval. And what is it now? It's like a club? You always have the hills in the background with the mist rising up from the forest. It's a pretty cool look. They have a mechanical bull in there. A new building here called the Trade and Transit Center. I don't know why it's called that, but let's see what else is going on. This is another building that says the Trade and Transit Center, where they have performances. And here's a map of the downtown. Let me study this. It's cool, they got some like bas-reliefs etched into the facades of some of these newer buildings. Look at all the lumber. That was where all the money was made in the late 1800s. Same here, the transit center. They got pictures of old buses and trolleys and a ferry. Let's see here. Here's a historical sign. Let's see what this says. More nice murals. And so when I walked by that building that said Genetti, it's the Genetti Hotel. At least it used to be. West Bay. So this seems like it used to be like where the trolleys used to come through. I don't know what is all going on in this area, but it looks interesting. I mean, that's the back of the old prison that's now a club. And you get some cool street art here. I don't know what this pavilion is. What happens here? But this just sort of gives you an interesting look at right the center of town. Let me see what this mural is over here on the side of this building. If you ever want to pick a time to wander around a town haphazardly, a Sunday morning is a good time to choose. What's all going on here? It almost looks like Mark Twain sitting there. He came here to speak way back in 1869. You got buffalo and you got tigers all in the same mural, and you got a bear and some deer, antelope, and you got fish swimming around. Definitely cool. Hotel is a hotel because I see all these college students. Maybe they came from another team that played here yesterday and they're getting back on their bus at the Genetti. Another place you could stay here in downtown Williamsport. All right, let's investigate further here. So you know you got to have something that references the Little League World Series that is held annually here in Williamsport. And these are bike racks, I'm sure, but they're also art. So here's where they have like outdoor restaurants. It's closed for the evening now, but that's cool. Maybe the next time we come to Williamsport, we'll go there. So I guess it's the transit center because the buses stop behind it in this area. Let's walk down this alley. Brewing company. We're walking between 4th and 3rd towards Court Street. It's all quiet now. The Old Corner Hotel. Now a bar. Looking back up West 4th Street. I almost feel like I'm in a historical recreation of a town. But then there's an occasional car or pedestrians that walk by and make me realize it is a living place. It's a cool looking retro place, but I wonder if they even think of it as being retro. It just hasn't changed. Anyway, it looks really cool. So here's their Scottish Rite temple down there on the right, and then a Masonic temple here. I wonder if it's all the same thing. An older building in between. What street is this? Looking for a cross street. So here's a children's library. Never heard of a building that's just a children's library, but it was donated by the Welch family. And Here's a leftover residential house in the downtown area. Acme Barbecue and Catering. I like the blue tile. All right, let's look at a couple more things that catch my eye here. And then we will feel like we've done a pretty good job of capturing downtown Williamsport. This is a really nice entry gate to Lycoming College. And this is the downtown, so it's right next to the downtown. And there's the tower to our hotel, the old City Hall Hotel. So take a quick peek in here. This is why you'd see college students maybe going for a jog around the downtown, because it's right, the campus is right next to downtown. So the buildings are back in there. Looks really nice. So this sign says that Lycoming College is one of the 50 oldest schools, colleges in the country. It started off as a seminary, and it's been co-educational since 1812. So it's one of the first colleges to be co-ed. When a lot of them were just for men. And walking into a residential neighborhood next to Lycoming College, seeing some more historical buildings here, looking back to the still fog-shrouded hills. I just want to walk across the street to get a better angle of this church, the first church with an impressive dome on the top. This is 6th Street running into the church. And walking down 6th Street parallel to the downtown. Just love the tall windows on this house. And now that house is a brew house. There's just loads of history here in Williamsport. You could just go on and on. That old church down there, hanging on. Beautiful old neighborhood. The morning glories are out in the morning. Gotta watch your step on the sidewalk though. So this is the Bethel AME Church. And that's Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And that's the downtown. Look at the row of lights there. It almost looks like where the train used to go. Maybe it did. And that's Dubois Street. Anyway, when you get past this area, which was probably all cleared for urban renewal, a national program that never worked, Helmrich's Seafood, and an overall look at downtown Williamsport. Well, it's like 9:30 now, and it's still pretty quiet here. So, go back to the hotel And we're staying on the 3rd floor. I think it'd be neat to go up into that tower, but they didn't say anything about that. I wanted to capture not only this building, which is a beautiful brown sandstone building, part of the Scottish Rite Temple, but this library, which I've seen pictures of, the James Brown Library, James V. Brown, a lumber baron. He and his wife didn't have any kids, and his wife passed away first, so he wanted to donate to build a library for Williamsport. And it says it was founded in 1907. I just know the building was built like in the early 1900s, but maybe pretty close to 1907. At 19 East 4th Street, just east of the downtown. And there's more historical buildings going this direction. So a lot of the millionaires lived west of downtown on West 4th, but I think a few lived here east. And here's their pretty church at this end of town, and more historical homes down this way. Here's a better look at some of the campus of Lycoming College. Looks very impressive. So the Welch Children's Library is part of the John Brown Library, so it really covers a full block. It just has kept expanding and expanding.